Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. It is Thursday, 2 days after the epic and historical loss in Champions League versus Maccabi Haifa. 2 days before the Derby della Mole versus Torino. Guys, when things are going bad, everything is going bad. And of course, the media are saying everything and nothing, but they are speaking about Juventus, so we will have to report what they are saying. We also have to report the actions of Andrea Agnelli that yesterday was present before the training, speaking to everyone. And when I'm saying everyone, I underline it, I put it in bold, and I put it in caps, because he spoke to every single one with big words. Attenzione, we'll speak about the words of Andrea Agnelli, we'll speak about all the other things, because there are a lot of things that we have to speak about. Juventus need to wake up. A big electroshock is needed, and that is what Juventus is trying to do with, at the moment, Massimiliano Allegri. Put a maximum of like. Put a maximum of like. Subscribe to the channel. We open immediately the first Italian page, Corriere dello Sport, who's speaking about Champions League, because it's true that Napoli deserve to be there on the front page with a 4-2 win versus Ajax. It's already 10 goals in 2 games versus Ajax. They are there. They deserve to be there. But also speaking a bit about Inter with a 3-3 stopping Barcelona, that if they lost yesterday, they could have been immediately after 4 game days already out of the group stages for the second year in a row. But of course, they are speaking also about Juventus. Juve con le spalle al muro. What does that mean? Juve with the shoulders against the wall. Because yes, Juventus is with the shoulders against the wall, and we are not speaking about the one that you are seeing in the picture, Federico Chiesa. Probably is the only one that is not with the shoulders against the wall. Bad picture, but we will have to speak about the only positive thing that we have at Juventus now, which is that Federico Chiesa is nearly and about to be back. We'll come back on that. The second page, and it's a big one, it's Tuttosport. We're saying Crisi Juve, the crisis of Juve. Let's not turn around the pot, we are in a crisis moment. A novembre rischia Max. In November, it's Massimiliano that you see in the picture that is risking. A maggio tutti. In May, everyone. Guys, big words here. Big words. At the end of the season, an assessment will be made, and everyone from today on is under exam. We will come back on that. But first, let's open Gazzetta dello Sport, who is speaking about Inter. We don't care. We already spoke too much about them. But then they are saying Agnelli avvisa la Juve. Agnelli is warning Juventus. Via a gennaio chi molla. Who's giving up? Is already gone in January. So it's the same story, Gazzetta dello Sport and Tuttosport, but with different dates. If Tuttosport is saying only after the 8 remaining days before the World Cup, Max Allegri and his staff are risking, and at the end of the season, it's everyone, the team, the leaders, whatever, whoever you want that are risking to be all sold or dismissed, not renewed, whatever you want, not only the players, technical staff, doctors, and so on, and so on, and so on. Gazzetta dello Sport is saying, attenzione, can even be anticipated. In January, everyone can go out, because Agnelli is fed up with the situation we are in. Attenzione, some parts of the supporters are giving another twist to the situation. They are saying to Allegri, with a banner in front of the Juve Stadium, in front of the Allianz Stadium, they are saying, attenzione Mr. Allegri, non dimetterti mai. Don't give up, Max Allegri. Don't give your dismissal. Never give your dismissal. Chi rema contro non è degno di questa maglia. Who's working against is not worthy of this shirt. Guys, 2 different messages. We know that Vikings historically are always supporting and in favor of Max Allegri, and they are speaking about the players. They are saying that the players that are working against, not everyone, these players, they are not worthy of the shirt. If I have to analyze it, I don't agree with Allegri never giving his dismissal. You know, and I always said it, from the moment that a coach has no solutions anymore, from the moment that he has no control anymore, that the solutions that he were thinking about are not effective anymore, when he has nothing to give anymore to the team, when he's not believing in it anymore, that's the moment where you have to give his dismissal. Is it the moment now? I don't know. I am not in the training center La Continassa, so I can't tell you, but that's the moment where a coach should give his dismissal. But then, the second part, this is where I totally agree with. Guys, if you're not working against Allegri, you're working against Juventus Football Club, Juventus FC, La Vecchia Signora, the Zebra, whatever name you want to give them, the Bianconeri, and this is absolutely not acceptable. Guys, we already heard these rumors of some players that were working against Sarri. You remember the Scudetto celebration with Sarri alone walking away with the players watching him. You remember that? You remember also with Pirlo, some players that were working against Pirlo because they were not satisfied anymore. They are doing it, these voices. They are coming back since last year with Allegri. Again, we saw it this season. We are again at here. So it's already more than 3 years that we hear that some players are working against. Guys, we are not working only against the coach. We are not working against whatever we want. We are working against Juventus. And this is not acceptable. I will never forgive the players that are working against. I don't know who they are. I'm not finger pointing. But the players that are working against, I'm absolutely not okay. I prefer De Ligt, that is not okay, that is not accepting the situation and said, I want to leave. I respect a lot De Ligt for this. If you are not okay, if you are not happy, if you are not smiling anymore, I prefer you to be happy in another team than sad in our Juve and especially destroying Juventus. Guys, everyone is at fault at Juventus at the moment. Everyone is to blame. The coach will probably be the first one to pay the consequences of the difficult moment we are in, and probably correctly so, because he is the manager, the one with responsibilities. But we don't have to forget the players and all the other players that are working for you, because like this it's too easy. Tomorrow we take, I don't know, Pochettino, Tuchel, Conte, whoever. The players are not satisfied, they work against the coach. What does that mean? I'm totally against that. Guys, we continue, because the retiro is a solution. What does that mean? That's the retreatment, the season, the training camp where all the players will stick together. First of all, we had to start on Wednesday. Apparently, they decided to start on Thursday. So will it be a retiro? 2 nights, because it's until Torino. That means Thursday night, Friday night, and we are playing versus Torino on Saturday. So is it really a retiro? I don't believe so. But then, do I agree with that? Apparently, some leaks from some players came out on paper saying that yes, it can be beneficial if they speak to each other, but only if they are really honest. I would love the players to tell honestly, face to face, eyes in the eyes, to Allegri, to everyone there in a group, saying, guys, we have that problem. We are not happy with that. We want to solve it. This is what I want to hear. Players and the coach and everyone that says we want to solve it. How can we solve it together? 2 days are enough. Yes, absolutely, if they are honest. Otherwise, you can even do a retiro of 1 month. If players are not honest, this will not work. Agnelli, yesterday, he spoke to everyone. I will tell you an inside information. It was not with the coach next to him. You know that usually the coach is next to the president speaking to the team to reinforce the position. No, Agnelli was alone speaking to everyone from the team, coach included, saying, guys, you're all under observation because it's not normal, the situation we are in. I'm expecting a turnaround in a lot of things, not only in results, but also the way of playing, physical condition, everything. I'm expecting it. And who's playing against? He's out. I don't know if Gazzetta was right with January. I don't know if it's Tuttosport with May. Probably it will be in 2 phases. But who's not giving what they can give, they are out. And I totally agree with that. Everyone should be at risk. Nico Schira is giving another possibility. Why is Allegri still here at the helm of Juventus? It's probably because the solutions are not convincing. From Pochettino to Paulo Sousa. Yesterday we reported the trainers that were free on the market and probably they are not convincing. Yet also because we learn from history that not always changing a coach is beneficial. We have big examples, good examples like Tuchel being dismissed from Paris Saint-Germain, going to Chelsea and winning the Champions League. Bayern Munich dismissing their coach Kovac, taking Flick and winning the Champions League. It happens, beautiful things. Other times it went really wrong. Look at Manchester United, they tried it with Mourinho, they tried it with Ole Solskjaer, with Ragnick. They tried a lot of time, they failed. Milan with Pioli, that failed immediately when he actually subbed Gianpaolo. But it was a starting project for a long project, winning project where they are in now today. So not always you have the immediate results. Sometimes yes, sometimes no, but you are not sure. You have no guarantee that is working. Allegri rischia a novembre, a maggio a tutti. We report again the words of Tuttosport, who's saying Allegri is risking in November, because of course we are waiting for him some results. So it's not there just Allegri will stay and he's fine and everything is good. It's a friend of Agnelli. No, because what are the missions for the next 8 remaining games? That Allegri, he is close to the 4 teams in that are able to participate to the Champions League next year. So top 4, going closer to the top 4 at the end of the 8 remaining games of Serie A. And Champions League, what does that mean? Going into Europe. Juventus doesn't want to finish 4th in that group stage of Champions League. They want to go in Europa League. It's hard to say, but it is what it is. I will explain you also why. Why? Because if we are going towards the economical risk is really, really, really big. We already will lose 25 million if we don't go to the next round. 25 million. That can potentially be compensated with 15 million win if you win the Europa League. Winning the Europa League at the moment is even not to think about. Barcelona will be there, Arsenal is there, a lot of big teams are in Europa League, so thinking about it is hard. But even if you win the Europa League, you can compensate it with 15 million euro. You don't even compensate the 25 that you are already losing. We already lost 8 million in Champions League because of the 3 loss, because you know it, if you win you have a bit more money. 8 million are already gone. 55 million euro is what we earned this year with the Champions League. Guys, we can potentially lose 90 million. 90 million of value of players, because if we are not going in Champions League next year, 90 million of players of value will go down. This is a big disaster risk. Speaking about disaster, Di Maria said after his medical test this morning in the J Medical that he was fine. We don't know if he's really fine. What does that mean, fine? Will he be back in 2 weeks? Will he be back in 3 weeks? Will we see him again in October? Will he see him only versus Paris Saint-Germain on the 2nd of November before going to the World Cup? We don't know. We know one thing, it's already the 3rd injury for Di Maria, and this is not acceptable. If you are looking at the list a bit closely, how many injuries? He started immediately the 21st of July with De Sciglio, followed by Pogba, Szczesny, McKennie, Ake, and then the list continued. Too much. Already in October, after the 11th of October, 2 new injuries, De Sciglio again and Di Maria. This is something that we really need to fix. Guys, I told you that I wanted to speak about Federico Chiesa. I will not take too long, but he's the sunlight. Yesterday, he trained with the under 17. He played a few minutes of the game, or maybe even all the game. It was fantastic to see him. Yesterday, Twitter, social media went totally crazy. It was fine, and it was happy to see at least one thing that is putting everything agree and together. Federico Chiesa, we can't see him. Hopefully he can be that sparkle that we need. Grande Federico Chiesa, and we see all the images. We finish with the last news about Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. I know, it's always Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. Lazio president, yesterday he spoke. He said, I have no agreement with his agent or with Juventus for Sergej Milinkovic-Savic in January. The price tag from Sergej even increased from the 100 million that I was already asking. Today probably is worth 120 million. So Lotito is going totally crazy. But his agent, reported by Fabrizio Romano, said, attenzione, he still has 18 months of contract after the World Cup. That will be the moment where we will have to have serious talk with Lotito. Will it be the first time that Sergej Milinkovic-Savic will say no to Lotito? I will not renew with you. I don't care about the renewal. I want a new journey or not. We will see. We will discover it. We know it. I will always inform you on the channel. Please, seriously, put a maximum of like. I want all your opinion, because we spoke about a lot of things. Andrea Agnelli, the messages of the Vikings. We spoke about Federico Chiesa, Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. Let me know all your opinion in the comment. Put a maximum of likes. Subscribe to the channel. Grazie, forza, Juve.